How would you like to become an impersonator of your favorite celebrity or historical icon? Some people make between $750 to $6,000 per event they put on. People every day, everywhere impersonate Marilyn Monroe and make a lot of money due to her beauty, her fame, and the talent she left behind. I have always been interested in Marilyn Monroe, her acting career, her scandals she was involved in, and the witty quotes that come from her career. She started out in a foster home. Her mother was mentally ill and couldn't take care of her, so she kind of went from foster home to foster home and never knew her dad. So she kind of had a rough start in life with family. She didn't really belong to anybody, and that kind of followed her through her career in the end. She started acting, well, first she started taking acting classes at UCLA. She loved to read, to write, to listen to music. She was very educated. Most people might not know that about her. They think she's blonde and just liked to have fun, but she was very smart, very educated, and loved to study. She took the acting classes at UCLA, like I said, and 20th Century Fox gave her a contract, but she was always late, never showed up, kind of wasn't reliable, so they canceled their contract with her. She stayed in school, kind of got her stuff back together, and they re-signed her. She started making films with them. Beatrice and Marilyn Miracle, two sisters who are noted authors, stated in their book, My Sister Marilyn, a memoir of Marilyn Monroe, first published in 2003, that after Fox Century signed her, she changed her name to Marilyn Monroe. She was born Norma Jean, and she changed to Marilyn Monroe after one of the movies she was in. She didn't actually change her name legally until 1956, so for 10 years she was known as Marilyn Monroe without actually being that her legal name. She also got the name Blonde Bombshell after a movie called Gentlemen Prefer Blondes, which I think is kind of where the blondes get more fun came from. And like I said, she was notorious for being scandalous. She first was married at the age of 16 to a guy named James Daughtry, who was in the military. When he got deployed, she started doing modeling to make money for herself, and the Army actually she started doing photography for the military as a woman on the assembly line, so that's where she got started. Later, she started doing department stores and other stuff like that. She was said to be a photographer's dream. They were married for about 2 years maybe. Once he came back from deployment, they got a divorce. She said she wasn't happy. She was always bored. Later, she married Joe DiMaggio. They were only married for 8 months when they got divorced. He was very jealous, didn't like his wife being the center of attention for other men or fantasies of other men. He wanted her to be a housewife. And so they got divorced. Then later, she got a big movie role in The Bus Stop. Arthur Miller was the playwright. They got married in 1956 when she started in that movie, and then later divorced in 1960, so they weren't married very long either. She kind of bounced. She thought she loved these men, got in a relationship really quick, and then later found out that she wasn't happy, wasn't what she wanted. She only was married 3 times, but like I said, she was notorious for being scandalous, so she dated many other men, like JFK. Carl Rollison, a noted author, and Marilyn Monroe, Life of an Actress, first published in 1993, that a report affair with JFK began in the late 1961 at the President's Gala birthday celebration in Madison Square Garden on May 19, 1962, where Marilyn sang her famous Happy Birthday tribute to JFK. She was also reported to have an affair with Bobby Kennedy shortly before Marilyn's death. Marilyn died in, I can't remember it is now. Marilyn Monroe had a problem with sleeping pills, so her death came to a shock to many. Many believe that it was suicide, while others believe that it was accidental. And some people might also say that somebody was administrating her the drugs and gave her too much. So nobody really knows how she died, since they just found her dead in her Hollywood home. And so there's a lot of speculation on how it happened. While Marilyn Monroe was taking the sleeping pills, she frequently forgot her lines in movies. She kind of had crazy mood swings. She'd be crying on the set and then happy the next moment, which kind of ruined her career also because she wasn't very dependable, kind of always swinging back and forth in her moods. Before she died, her and Joe DiMaggio started talking again. They were going to get their relationship back and try to redo it again. Since they were about to start the relationship and get remarried, after her death, he sent flowers weekly for 20 years after her death to her gravesite. So he loved her very much, even though they never worked out. And he quoted that, she quoted that, "I belong to the public, to the world, and not because I was talented or even beautiful, because I never belonged to anything or anyone else." And that really describes her life and how she was very beautiful, but she never felt like she belonged anywhere. So she was a very beautiful woman, had a lot of talent, but that also shows you that even the most beautiful people in the world still struggle like everyone else.